How do we transition when you don't have control over the outcome? What does it mean to still sojourn on? This is my week 5 reflection video for the 75 Soft Challenge. This week was a difficult week for me, socially, emotionally, and it was a very unplanned week in that learning to navigate shifting relationships. And in going through this challenge, what I'm trying to do is to, one, circle back to gratitude, even though this particular transition is tough. How do we transition when you don't have control over the outcome? What does it mean to still sojourn on? To gratitude, which I needed to do this week in order not to have many moments. It was beautiful to witness a love story. Well, it is beautiful to witness a love story. Just to see the multitudes of what does it mean to love someone as you get older, as you are older. What does sisterhood look like, and longevity? And that's what helped me to stay grounded in this challenge in time. I can't really tell you as much about what I completed in this week because this week really feels like a blur. I don't know if you've ever had one of those weeks or one of those periods where you have to compartmentalize and push through in order to make it through. This was one of these weeks. I still drank my water. I still drank my tea. And I had to remind myself to exhale because I don't think I was breathing as naturally as I do. Before we got the news, this week went by fine. I went to the gym this week. So this week I had vegan eggs, and I've had them before. I added cheese to them, which made them not vegan. Haven't yet found a vegan cheese that I like enough to replace or to add to my cheese rotation. That's the only thing that's difficult in having to minimize my dairy intake. But other than that, definitely will continue to get the vegan eggs so that way I can reduce eating eggs, since that's also a dietary restriction that I have. Since Jasmine Ward's memoir connects a lot to grief and dying, I don't remember how much I read this week of her memoir. So I had to switch over to something that was lighter in order to try to keep up with the 10 pages. If I'm not able to read 10 pages, what I do is I substitute it for listening to an audiobook, 20 pages. And in thinking about how do I define success for myself, and what does it mean to redefine goals as life comes at you? Because as we often say, life be life in, but is a reminder to myself that even though life is life in, as one of my sister friends often remind us, Dr. Stocks, that God be God in, right? So this week, just circling back to love and circling back to community is what I am working through right now in order to continue to sojourn on this difficult time. I'm grateful to have witnessed and be in the room to witness a sisterhood over the decades, right? Like to see folks, to have a model of what sisterhood should be and is. So because I am going through this certain season that's challenging for me, I have to reassess what this hashtag 75 Salt Challenge means for myself. So it's practicing grace. If I am emotionally spent because of this circumstance, then I may not have read that 10 pages this week, right? I may not have hit the 45 minutes workout. So perhaps success right now means pressing forward to do my best as I am going through this circumstance and being okay with that. I know that in this society, they often try to sell us perfection. We can purchase perfection. We have to get to perfection in this ever ending goalposts that we cannot achieve in order to make us feel as though we are lacking something so we can consume more, purchase more, in order to try to fill a void that was never there in the first place. So this week was a reminder of defining seasons and circumstances for myself in order to be mindful, to self-define my life. So for this hashtag 75 Salt Challenge week, I'm left more with questions and appreciation of witnessing love and having a model of sisterhood. So I know we often think about models in regards to romantic partnerships and in the workplace, but I'm reminded of Dr. Joy's book, Sisterhood Heals, when she asks the question in the beginning of her book, like, what models did you have growing up in regards to sisterhood? Like, what did like your moms and your aunties say about women and their friends, and how did they do those relationships? As I'm getting older, I'm grateful that I'm able to witness my mother and her relationships with women, because I can see the ways in which sisterhood not only heals, but it saves, and it holds, and it endures, and it dreams, and it curates, and it manifests. So I'm grateful to be in the room. So again, thank you for journeying with me in this hashtag 75 Salt Challenge. I don't know what adjective I would say that life feels right now. But perhaps even though it's challenging and this period is difficult, that perhaps it feels less difficult. Perhaps it is softness there. Because there's love there in the midst of all this mess. And we can also think about the post-election and what we're seeing and how folks are preparing and how we're circling back to reminding ourselves that because we have community, that we are in relationship to people who share our values, that we're going to be okay. And thinking about being okay, I think a lot of us are pushing to not just be okay, but to be well, to be great, to be balanced, to be content. Because why not? this week definitely reminded me of why I am intentional to create this space. So as always, love is real and eternal. In community, peace.